So we have few minutes to talk more about concrete things in health tech. So I was thinking about the right question to start, and one of the easiest way is connected with, okay, it's hard to find who will pay for the product. So I would like to ask you to elevate yourself, give me the elevator pitch with the focus on, okay, so who is paying? What is your unique added value? And I will pass the microphone, hopefully it will be working. It is.
It's a great question, who will pay? So, hello, my name is Lukáš. I'm the founder and CEO of the MyLabs, which I founded 2 years ago. And what we do at the MyLabs, we are good at the computer vision, and we developed a special algorithm which helps to doctors during the endoscopy, just not only the colonoscopy, but endoscopy, to see what they can't see with the naked eye. And who should pay for that? I think that in the ecosystem, all of you, us, will once go to the colonoscopy, which is our use case. And you would be glad to pay for the device such as MyLabs that will help to doctor secure that he will see everything. But in our systems, it's how short shall I be?
Really short. 30 seconds. I mean, it's fast elevator, right?
And in ecosystem is insurance companies, hospitals, so there is more revenue streams.
Okay, thank you very much. So, elevate
Hello.
yourself, please.
My name is Petr Žabka. I'm here on behalf of Celestinus Incubator. We run an incubator, so we're not really a startup. We are a startup innovation enabler. We create a community that supports other health tech startups here locally, but also globally. And who pays question is quite easy here because we have partner network that pays us to do the job because they know that startups are the key to succeed in the future world. So they want to keep in touch with them, and they pay us for that.
Thank you very much.
Hi. You said that we're the founders who made it across the line. Well, thank you. It's really every day, step by step, working on making it across that line. I love that to that point that I outsource myself to others to do that for them. So I'm a consultant, a head of product for hire, and my company HealthMonk helps disruptive companies and innovative leaders get faster to the patient and faster to revenue. And we do that both on the market development side and the product development side, both in Europe and in US. And our secret sauce is that we're able to work with many data modalities, from imaging to vitals analysis to molecular data genetics. I have a startup experience as well as the head of Joybeat, which is a pregnancy health company. So it basically reduces the number of visits that the mom needs to go to in person to the clinic to get a fetal assessment. It also reduces the cost of healthcare. It also increases overall population health. And the question, who pays there, is really very interesting, and it varies in time. Sometimes it can be the mom, sometimes it is the provider, sometimes it's the insurance company. Happy to come back to that.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at Matthew's presentation, and there was, thank you, there was one thing really interesting for me, that it's similar system in Czech Republic as in Germany. So for us, it would be good to go to Germany with the first product, like to scale to Germany. Or what country would you recommend to go from the piloting Czech Republic, actually? Can you make a short message to the audience where they're supposed to focus on which markets with their startups?
So I'll provide one short one, a connection to the data that we just saw from Matthew. Czech Republic is a great place for pilots. Doesn't pay as much, but the cost per capita per healthcare is the highest out of Central and Eastern Europe. Germany is the highest in the EU, so lots of opportunity for change there, and has a good DIGA system for reimbursement, and the US is the highest globally. So again, a lot of opportunity for disruption there, and that would be perhaps my sequence.
Yeah, I think I can just add that you saw the mention about the fragmented markets, and if you're looking for a huger market, then you might find US. But of course, it's depending on the strategic partnerships you're creating. Of course, if you have no strategic partnerships, you're probably not going to disrupt US market with your product, of course.
So have you disrupted the US market already?
A little bit. We already touched the US market. What we did quite well, we made the awareness about our solution. And for example, we are in such cooperation with the Mayo Clinic. Now we are dealing with the Cleveland Clinic. So they are the top tiers clinics worldwide, not just in the US. And I would like to answer the question where to start or where to pilot your solution. I think you should start home at your country, because no one will believe you that you are good at when you want to reach the US before you persuade your own home market. Yeah.
And is the home market European Union, or is it rather Czech Republic? Because if I am targeting US, then my home market probably is European Union, right?
Yeah, but you are still in the healthcare system. Unfortunately, we are one union. We have one certification, which is called Medical Device Regulation, and you will need to translate it in 27 countries again. When you reach it, you will need to negotiate again 27 times. So it's not working well, machine healthcare system in the EU, unfortunately. Regarding DIGA, this is great best practice, but it's only for the software. So when you are a software company, just pilot it home country and directly go to Germany, because when you find your solution in the reimbursement system, you can start generating revenues really fast.
Thank you. Maybe just question to you, because I don't know who are you actually. Are there any founders of health tech startups? Please, can you raise your hands up that we will see? Okay, we have 2 people. Are there any providers of support to health tech startups? Okay, and are there any investors interested in financing the startups in health tech? 1, 2. So guys, check it, right? Done. Okay, maybe I will go straight forward, because health tech is quite really wide industry, and it's quite hard to go to market actually in whatever you are doing, if you are doing SaaS or whatever. But there are a lot of to risk actually. There is a lot of to risk because you are working with health. So what is the biggest fuck up you're supposed to be aware about, you did or you heard about? So we can start from right now, or
what was the name of the lady from the US with from the Elizabeth Holmes? I think that is the biggest fuck up.
Yep.
But it was fraud, of course. Well, you know, I would say to something similar that Lukáš was saying before. So in order to not to really drive your startup into a fuck-up scenario, you can just do a pilot. You can find those partners that can help you with piloting and validating your solutions. And of course, if we are talking about medical devices and certifications, this is the key. You are not able to overcome the regulations without any validation. So if you want to not to really drive to the fuck-up scenarios, you better start maybe not small, but really validating from the very first step and finding your partners.
Okay, so the advice is to pilot, to get partners, and go through the practice as soon as possible. But what is the fuck up, like the biggest you heard about, or you was around this fuck up? Is there any?
So, I mean, Elizabeth Holmes hits close because I spent a decade or so working in genomics and in molecular data lab analysis. But it was about people. It was about lack of ethics. And so I actually believe that technology is the easier part and quite deterministic. It is everything but. So I mean, we're giving advice sometimes directly to patients, and that to me is the most risky area, right? Like, often we work with the doctors. We see that as the least risky one because they're responsible. But when we're giving information directly to patient about their health, we need to be very careful, both about giving them kind of false information on symptoms and problems, but especially when we're providing reassurance that everything is fine. And so a really bad fuck up I heard about in field monitoring, where a test was conducted on the mom's abdomen, detecting seemingly two heart rates. They were saying, you know, it's the mom's is just fast and the child's as well, but it was the mom stressed and the fetus dead. So those are some very sad cases. Right?
Yeah, thank you very much. I was just thinking maybe some fuck up. I was thinking that I know Czech companies Industry 4.0, but companies are usually collecting data in Excel still. Like we are in Industry 1.0, but talking about the 5.0 already. And the hospitals and the Czech health system is not even better. I mean, we are still like in 90s, but bringing new tools and ideas into this system. How is it actually to bring new ideas and new tools and solutions to the old infrastructure?
Difficult.
Difficult is the word. I wanted to say something else, but it's difficult, really difficult. So I used to work in the industry and automotive. Every second counts, effectivity, and so on. In a healthcare system, we have the best educated people in the system. They spend more than 40% in average by administrative work. They work with the systems which are really, really old-fashioned. They are like MS-DOS systems, front end. It's a very rigid system. And we came there with the technology which is AI. We are in the systems which is strictly regulated, and the regulatory is old-fashioned way where they want to have a design it in the beginning where will be the button on the device, what will be shown on the display in the beginning, how we can iterate with this technology where we need to have a back loop, when we need to get the feedback, where should be some agile methodology. And this is so difficult to work with the regulatory part. It's so difficult when you get this, you are planning with some inputs from the regulatory part, you build a strategy on that, they will change your mind after a few months and you need to rebuild it again. That's a problem, really problem of the Czech, or not just the Czech, I think that's overall healthcare system. Another story would be that everything is printed out and dealing the information when you are on the one floor of the hospital. You will visit two physicians. You just going with the papers from the printer, and each of them is reading that. We have some GDPR and so on, but everything is printed out. That's obstacle. I think that's about the fuck ups we could have separately discussion in the healthcare system.
Maybe the Elizabeth Holmes case before, it was like one specific case, but you are all both right that we have a lot of systematic problems in healthcare. The system is rigid. There are a lot of regulation. There are a lot of doctors who don't accept the technology. But recently I came across the information that we should not be surprised that doctors sometimes do not want to accept it because, so far IT systems usually made their work maybe not worse, but lasting longer. It's more difficult for them. Yesterday, I heard that one partner in the US mentioned that typical medical doctor, if it's something a little bit more serious with a patient, spends 15 minutes writing the note for the patient, and then another 8 minutes adjusting the data in EMR systems. So if you calculate it, it's 23 minutes for a patient. And I think with AI and all the technology we now have, it will be much better. But so far, I think the situation is worse than when the doctors had just a paper and pen. Yeah. So yeah, it's really difficult, not only because of the barriers, but also when the changes are not really systematic or not well done. Sometimes it might really be a bigger struggle than actually help.
Okay. Is there because there's supposed to be some changes in across the Europe? As I saw the graph, if it's paid by public, of course, it's supposed to be conservative because we all are paying for the system. But in case of, I think that it was Norway and Finland or other countries where it's quite high level of self-payments, or in US actually, you are paying for your health a lot. What is the right person or right partner to speak about to cross the line as soon as possible? Because, I mean, there is gap in between practice and the science or the research. So who is the right partner to speak with?
In one word, I would just say clients, but that would allow you piloting your solution. But maybe I'll leave the answers for my colleagues.
In business school, they said that the key answer to everything is it depends. So the answer is a partner or a customer, and who they are, to me, that depends. I would say the challenge of technology sometimes is that it's so powerful and can do so many things. Like Maya's technology can increase the rate of detection of polyps in the colon by 60 or more %. They increase the diagnostic rate, improve the outcomes of the procedure and the health of the individual. It can also make administration much more efficient and take all the paperwork out of the hands of the customer. It can lower the risk for the hospital that they are going to get sued. It can provide BI for hospital-wide. And probably each of those is a probably separate cost center within the hospital. And each of those has different difficulty of proving your claims and may have different regulatory requirements. And again, there's people on the other side. And so it depends who you engage with. It depends how big their need is. It depends what the regulatory requirements or how difficult it is to serve that particular need. So to me, it's just important to say, like we're talking about healthcare is broken, or patients are dying, or somebody is getting sick who doesn't have to. But how an investor would define, would ask you how your solution works, it's who is your customer that currently has a problem, willing to pay for your stuff, whose problem you're solving. And that can vary vastly. And that should be the key of your partners.
Generally, we can say always who pays leads.
I would like to add that we should take care for what we are paying, where we are not paying directly, but via insurance services or insurance companies, for what we are paying. Because there's a really, really big differences between services which are provided and for the same price which is paid from the insurance company. I can say that from the statistic, what we see, I'm talking about the Czech Republic, that more than 60% of patients which were sent home they were sent home as a healthy. We saw that they had inside polyps. So it means that there is a high risk of colorectal cancer. So from that patients, some portion died, and it's totally useless because technology can solve it, and you can choose your provider where will you have for example, colonoscopy or other type of examination. So we are used to pay for car maintenance, and we choose the service according to some references. So we should do the same with our healthcare, and we should take care about it.
Okay, I will have a last question. What are the 3 things you would like to do when you are starting the business in a health tech, and what are the 3 things you won't do because it's a way to the hell? And I would ask you to have it really fast and short. So 3 things to do, 3 things not to do.
As a startup founder,
As a startup founder.
3 things I would do and avoid.
Yeah.
1, have a multifaceted revenue and funding strategy. So there are all these things that we can do. Pick 1, 2, or 3 of them and drive them home. Have solid data, solid underlying evidence, and be true to what you have and what you don't have. And that would be also my first not to do. Don't lie to your customers, don't lie to your investors. That would be another kind of biggest fuck up I would add, is when some information comes back to you that you or somebody affiliated with your startup came back and you learn that was not true.
So here it's not working, fake it until make it, right?
No, not at all. And 1 point about technology, I mean, start handling your privacy and regulatory compliance early on. It's very difficult to go back.
Thank you very much.
Not sure if there are 3 things I would do, but first I would have the right expectations. You know, many times the founders come to our incubator and they say, yeah, we'll certify the solution, not a problem. But, you know, if you don't know that it costs millions of dollars, if you don't know how long it takes, you probably will not succeed because you will come to the fuck up scenario, right? Secondly, validation is key. And thirdly, maybe finding the strategic partner. Otherwise, you might get lost, and the strategic partner might be the first clients. It might be the incubator. Of course, I'm on behalf of incubator here, so we'll be happy to help any startups with the roadmap for them and finding really the key partners in Europe as well as the US for free. But yeah, I think it was free, right? 3 things I would do, and I would not do the opposite, of course.
Okay, thank you very much.
Have a vision, keen on your vision, don't listen to naysayers, and find the partners. Try to avoid, if it's your first startup, don't start with the medtech or health tech or healthcare. If it's your second startup, try to avoid it as well and start with the DIGA in Germany. And the last, I don't know, don't work too much.
Because you will need healthcare.
You will be ill from that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Question I should ask you during the beer session in the night. What is the right question for you? On a mic, please. What is my question that I will get your attention?
How to launch in the States as fast as you can to get access to the 100 times larger pile of healthcare money than in the Czech Republic.
So do you remember this question? Because you will need it for the night. Thank you very much.
In my case, you can ask whether I like health tech or sustainability more.
Okay, thank you very much.
I can recommend you where you can have a good colonoscopy.
So if you need colonoscopy this evening, you can go to check it. And I would like to thank Lukáš, Loun, Petr, Žabka, and Martin Bednář for the short discussion. And you will see actually them in the stage next to us. And we will be here back in, I think, 10 or 13 minutes, something like that. So thank you guys for sharing.